Christmas?
Yeah.
All right. So and I know everybody probably seen mandatory on top of it and went, oh my Lord. Well, y'all, it's not gonna be like that. But we are starting as of today, each month, I'm gonna do a staff meeting. Now, everybody sees that we're recording it. And so what I'm gonna do is actually turn that into a QR code. It's gonna be December's meeting, and then we'll have January's meeting. Because I know everybody can't come to those. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the realistic piece. But I do want everybody to have it firsthand. So if something gets construed, we can say, hey, let's take a look at it. Or, if you can't make it, watch it and play catch up on that kind of stuff, okay? All right, so as we roll into a new year, what are we gonna do? What are our goals? Where are we gonna go? Step one is gonna be, as we roll into the new year, is gonna be self-accountability, okay? So as we go into it, think about it. New year, it's a new start. We also have a new thing rolling out shortly. Everybody probably has seen kicking off January the 2nd, and that is our code of conduct. All right. So if anybody hadn't seen it, there's a new little code of conduct coming out, and it is going to be the HEART acronym. It's going to be honesty, empathy, adaptability, responsibility, and teamwork. All right. So all of that's going to come out in the acronym of HEART. I did a few policies. I want to, if anybody wants to actually look at this kind of good stuff. So where are we going to start with that? We're going to start right here, okay, with our own self. So as we do, starting January 1, just like we all do, you know, starting our diet on January 1, we're going to go into a clean slate, okay? So we're going to be held accountable for our call-ins. We're going to be held accountable for our tardies. We're going to be held accountable for everything that's wrapped around that. Okay? So, like I said, we're going to start off with the clean slate, and here is the actual attendance policy that actually has been revised since the 1st. Okay? Going towards the 1st. So anybody who would like to take a look at it, we're going to get the schedules in. It will automatically populate. When you call in, it will automatically populate when you're late. Okay? So we're going to start off by being accountable for ourselves. We're also going to, if we miss a punch, you need PTO, you need anything like that, the payroll request, we'll have them out at the front desk. We'll find a place to put, make sure you have plenty. Okay? So everybody will need to fill that out so we have a trail so we can keep up. Because if you swing by and say, oh, I forgot to punch in, well, you know what? I mean, that's okay. Help us do it. So if you catch me going, I may say, okay, I got you. 30 minutes later after a conversation, no, I've done forgotten. I'll be the first to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So you can drop these in our baskets, in our doors, any of that kind of good stuff, okay? So everybody kind of, if you will, help me with that.
Are we not doing it online anymore?
You can.
You can. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. You're exactly right.
You know, if you stop us
either
in the hall, we may not remember that.
online or this. Thank you, because that's exactly what I meant to say.
I've had error come up
If you
on
want, you're
mine.
welcome to do that too.
It says boot something every time. Like when I'm trying to punch in or out, it'll say boot error.
We may need
And I
to.
just cancel it out and then redo it, but there was somebody from like ICU or somewhere checking, punching out with me, and it done it to them too, but I've had it happen like 3 times.
So is that doing on your computer module or
No,
on the actual?
on the time clock.
Wayne, is Wayne
Have you
here?
noticed it being anything going on with your time? Do you look at it to see, make sure there's nothing
I
cookie going?
looked and
Wayne called me Friday about he got an error for something, and I looked at his time and it was fine, but he didn't tell me what it said.
but it says, but if it does it again, I'll try to,
Take it, if you can get a screenshot of it, but it says boot error what?
I don't know, but it says boot error, but I'll try to just cancel it and wait, but it takes a long time for it to reset.
Okay, well, let's make sure, I wrote that down on my backside there. But anyway, so if we can do that, and then the other piece to that is, when it's payroll Monday, or if it's Friday when you go to leave and you look at your paycheck, so part of that is going to be in approving your time. So it's your time is your responsibility. Yes, it's our job to go in and do our piece, okay? But it's also your responsibility to make sure it's correct. So everybody needs to go in and actually approve your time. You can do it Friday, you can do it if you're going on vacation, you can do it at any point, but know that you're saying your time is correct. And that lets us know that you laid eyes on it, it's all good, or something may need to be fixed inside there. And we want to make sure your payroll's right, okay? That's the whole point to that piece. But anyway, so all of that needs to be done, right? So my other question is this. Does everybody have an idea what their job is, what their roles, what their jobs are, right? So, for me, I feel like one of the biggest pieces of this puzzle we all need to work on is teamwork together. Okay? So I feel like each one of us needs to earn the other person's respect inside this room. Okay? And that entails with different things like, you know, when you complete your cases, catch your break. Go get you something, if you want to grab you something to eat, whatever it may be, okay? But jump in there and help. If you see another room, instead of just hanging out and hanging around, jump in there and help and turn a room over. Or, hey, you know what? Why don't you run catch a break? I'm just using you, just happen to be in my eyesight. Why don't you run catch a break? I'm going to turn your room over and get it ready for you. Okay? I mean, it's little things like that we have like, out of 100%, like 25%. Because we do have some that do an excellent job helping each other. Majority of it's not. Okay? Offer breaks. Offer help and turn over rooms. Offer all that. I mean, be the person to your coworker you want to be. I mean, that's something I feel like we all need to stop and think about. We want. But are we a very good coworker at the end of the day? I mean, we need to just try to stop and learn and think. You know, hey, I've just finished my room. Hey, Wayne, I'm going to go grab me something to eat. It's communication. But I'll be back just shortly. Okay? Absolutely nothing wrong with that. You will never, ever, ever hear me complain about that unless it's becoming just abuse. I want you to come to work and I want to have a good time. But there are also things we need to do here. Okay? So try to be the coworker you want your teammates to be, your coworkers to be. All right? So I just feel like that's something that is a very big lacking piece to this puzzle here. Everybody needs to kind of jump in, help out, hiding in rooms, disappearing when we can't find you. I mean, I have a list. I've just been doing a lot of paying attention over the last 2.5 months. A lot of that takes place, guys. A lot of that takes place. So as we roll into this new year, as you stop and think about it, and let's do some self-accountability. Can we be the coworkers that we want to be? Are we going to jump in and help each other out? Are we going to let somebody sink? Hey, you know what? I worked yesterday. I'm not going to work today. Okay? Or we came to work. We came here to work. And I don't mean this to be ugly by no sense of the way, but there is not one person here overworked. Not one person overworked. And there's no reason we cannot help each other. And I truly feel that that's one of our places that we need to start our new year as a new vow to our team, is to try to be the coworker that you want your coworkers to be. What we think? Do you think I hit the nail on the head to start with?
You did.
But I feel like that's the easiest way to put it, is for us to be that person. Step up and be that person. I have a few here that actually do that. How many people are us around? There's a whole lot more than a few of us sitting here. This is a wonderful group of people. A very good group of people. You know, we have so much potential in this department. But I feel like that we all need to stop and take a look in and figure out what do we need to do to be doing our part to make our department a better place. From my perspective, I feel the same way. I want to sit down. What can I do? What can I do to make it better? You know, like, I'm just going to use like Friday, jumping in and helping and turn over rooms or doing different things. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I have no room. Every person has room for improvement there. And I'm not going to ask you to do something that I'm not going to do myself. So I'm going to also do that exact same thing. What can I do to be a better coworker for you guys? Because that's exactly how I feel. We are all coworkers together. We may have a little different role, but it takes all of our roles to make the place run like it should. So is everybody going to take me up on my offer? Is everybody going to do that self-check? Because at this point in time, I feel like we're at a place that we're trying to get some structure back into our place. We need to try to tighten some things up and be accountable for ourselves, okay? All right? Because at this point in time, stay tuned, we'll come into January. But each time what I want to do, so for me, I'm the kind of person, and I try to do meetings like everybody else, like I kind of feel like, and the lab, they'll tell you this. I want them to be short and sweet, okay? Because we want to take something from the heart of it and walk away with it. If we sit here for an hour, you're going to be able to tell me what the first 15 minutes that we've talked about. I'm the same way. I can't do it either. So what I want to do is every month concentrate on what's one step today that we need to work on. What's one focus we need to work on, and move forward with that. I just think that's the simplest thing to do, is that one at a time. And I hope that everyone feels if there's anything that you need, if there's anything I can help you with, y'all, my door is wide open. Always is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if I'm here or not. Give me a call. And if you're running into issues with the getting here and different things, and you got something personal going on, please come to me. Don't push me to the point of a disciplinary when there's something we can work on together. Okay? Because there are times that we need to sit down and look at that kind of stuff. Okay? Because just because it's written in stone here doesn't mean that we can't work together to figure out what we can do. I value every single one of you. I don't want anyone to go anywhere or anything to happen to anyone. But I do need everybody to step up to the plate and help me out. What you think? Questions, concerns?
We'll see.
All right. Let's do it, y'all.
Field
Hang on. I got into all that and I forgot. Sorry. This health stream, please pop into this and complete this. It's got to be done in the next day or two. And when no, it's not the survey, but this is your health stream. So whenever we did our survey, so we actually only ended up with 2 hits for the survey. And let me explain that to you right quick so everybody's on page with that. So we had the log, the paper log that we had, right? When it was out, it's not that there was an issue with it being out. We just didn't do what we said we were going to do with it being out. Okay? So we had the VersaTrack put in September. You have the manual log, and at that point in time, it was allowing us to make sure that the VersaTrack's on track and the manual log is over here, okay? So since then, we pulled the manual log because we have VersaTrack on everything, and don't think it won't go off and let you know.
Every 5 minutes.
But to fix our finding, we needed to do some education, and it lets you know we're no longer, the education piece is literally, 5 slides, and it will take you longer to log into your health stream than to do this, okay? But it's telling you that we've taken the paper log off, and it kind of gives you, if you were to get here and you go, gosh, this room is super duper hot, something is wrong, it just kind of lets you know, either contact me or Stephanie. That's the absolute easiest thing to do. If it's a temperature, please adjust it. If it's a humidity, if you'll contact one of us, we will make sure the right thing gets done. That's one less thing you have to fool with.
And
Okay.
leaving the ORs on 80 degrees.
Yeah,
In
makes
the
it go
afternoons
crazy.
when we're wrapped in blankets.
It's
We
making
gotta
it go
quit that,
crazy.
y'all. I'm getting alerts every 5 minutes at night
I
with
mean, they've
80
done that
degree
before.
Yeah.
thermostat.
Well, they
And that's
hadn't
why
been
they
off
done
over-
away with it, was because it was going off 30 and 40 times a day and all night.
Well,
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 now
we're doing things to
we'll
fix, we're
walk
doing
in and
things to
look at
fix it.
every
Yeah,
time.
yeah, we're doing
Because
things
it's
to
been
fix
bad.
it, and the humidity has gotten a whole lot better.
So why don't, before we leave, does everybody just check your room and make sure you turn your
That'd be
temperature
great.
down to 72 or
Well,
whatever?
this morning when I got here, there was one room that was on 78 this morning when I got here.
Was it mine?
And then
it was hot
a
as
little bit
hell.
ago, the OR1 was on 60 degrees. And it alarms
Either
like
which
cold
way.
or hot.
And then next
and
week
missing
when
the
it gets
thermostats and leave them on 80.
it's gonna be.
Cause everybody
whack
say
on
it ain't
humidity.
them.
The air handler had gone out. And supposedly, the part is in and fixed. We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, I did it.
Well, that's my next agenda, that's my next. So, hey, real quick question. So as I was kind of telling you things that we're gonna be working on throughout the year and things, the stuff I've been kind of collecting on things that we need to do. It's kind of like what she was talking about with housekeeping. It's kind of a twofer. Yes, I'm communicating with them. And 2, that's gonna be my next, one of my projects going into the new year is, the cleaning and stuff at night and some different things. I will bring that to y'all here as we come here, cause that's one of the things I feel like we need to do a little, that can be spiffed up and cleaned up and try to get a schedule and some different things like that I feel like the ORs need to, especially even the terminal cleaning stuff done. So I'm gonna work with him on a lot of those kinds of things. We've been working on tidying up some of, like the material stuff, trying to close some loops there that where we've kinda had a gap in, communication from the warehouse to us. So we're trying, so that's getting better, but we still have a little ways to go with some of that. But we're getting better with that. We're working on some of that. We're working on, I'll kind of put a bug in your ear, I'm working on, and hopefully by the time we meet in January, I'll be able to fully pull the trigger on it and tell you that, for stay lates and call, to try to get a little bump inside the stay lates and the call. I hope people have seen that if you volunteered and different things like that, we're trying to make sure that everybody's being taken care of, that we appreciate people that step up to the plate. At the end of the day, I know it's not a whole lot, but it is what we can do, you know, to say thank you.
That's gonna be buried back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Call is
And
call.
it needs to be
Uh-huh.
communicated through your coordinator that you voluntarily stayed late.
It's volunteering every day.
Well, but get with us, but yes, but that's some things that we're working on. The things that we're working on, like when people stay, here lately, we've been doing it with the volunteer, or someone who has stepped up and helped with someone else's call. So those are some things that we've been, just putting on there. But the other is, I have a proposal out there that's gonna help. So it's gonna be kind of a graduated thing. We kind of start with this, at the stay lates and the call. And then as we get busier, there's a window that we can get back to our, hopefully where we were at one point in time. So I've got a proposal on the table and it's looking like, it looks like we should, hopefully when I come back, I know, that's what I'm saying. when we come back together in January, hopefully I can give you a report on that, we can pull the trigger on that too, as we go into that, okay? So those are a couple little things that, from our perspective, that we've been trying to work on and trying to tidy up, and, if anybody has anything, please make their round to me in my office. We can close the door, we can leave it open. Please, because I'm telling you, I run a list, even though I know at some point in time you think, oh, are you really paying attention? I really am paying attention, and I'm really knocking things off of my list, one little click at a time, I promise that. But we're getting there. But those are some things that we wanna move forward, and each time we kinda get together, I'll kinda tell you where we've moved the needle and some stuff like that. Is that okay with everybody? Is that good with everybody? Once a month, just kinda do this? Take 30 minutes and kinda hit the highlights of what's going on, what we expect, if there's any changes, if there's any of that kinda good stuff. But January the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken, I know most everybody will be gone, but I think 4 o'clock is when they're kicking off the new HART, code of conduct. So if anybody would actually like to look at it, you're more than welcome to look at what it all stands for inside here. And this will be January 1 policy. This is all will be out there. January 1, there will be a brand new handbook, copy of the handbook out. As soon as it gets out, I will get it copied. I will get rid of the old one in there and get copies anywhere anybody would want them, okay? So just so everybody knows that too. But every one of these here all have 1/1/25 date on them, that everything goes into effect, okay? So that way, if there's any questions, if there's any concerns, if we think there's something we need to work on for our prospective department, we wanna definitely do it. But everybody, please, 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 this is for that DMV, go on and do this. So we had this, the non-sterile supplies at plastics, and y'all, they did not write us up for our fire drill. So in reality, for our department, that is the only one little thing that we had on the entire survey.
And we did the fire drills, it just didn't have evacuation on the
Exit on it.
drill paper.
And we could speak
That's-
to it, and we actually thought the guy was gonna write us up, but when they sent us the final copy, he didn't write us up for it. So what we did is change a little wording on the paperwork, so now when they come back, there's no doubt that it's an exit fire drill. And we'll do some of those as we go forward too. But anyway, that's just a tribute to the good work that you guys do. See what I'm saying? We got so much that we can do. We wanna be the best department in the hospital.